Hey everyone, I just want to let you know I started a Facebook group. This is where I'll share my wisdom and knowledge with everyone. And I intend it to be a positive support group. So this is where you can ask questions and connect with me. I also started an Akashic record reading class. This is where you learn all the basics and everything you need to know in order to access the records, the important stuff. This is a budget class for those who wish to learn how to do it, and I would recommend any beginner, any newcomers, even if you are somewhat experienced, to come and join this class. This is a cheaper class. It's only $55. The records are very deep. It's not really just about your soul, it's not about other people's soul. Geography can have its own Akashic records. Even Lyra has its own Akashic records. The Pleiades has its own Akashic records. Procyon has its own Akashic records. You see, everything can have its own Akashic records as long as it has deep history. Anyways, I will see you all there. Now for the video. Vega is a star in the northern constellation of Lyra. While they are different from the main Lyrans, they can share similar energies. Those beings are still part of the big Lyran family, but they are very independent and have very strong individualism. The characteristics of Vega, or vegan starseeds, are fascinating because they share many similarities with the Sirians, especially the older vegans. They are as wise as the ancient Sirians, have deep wisdom, and are powerful psychics. Some also have awakened to their God consciousness within to experience their divinity, like Yeshua, Buddha, and the Hindu gods. I talked about how most of the wisdoms, unfortunately today, has turned into religion for manipulation, but many divine wisdoms of Buddha, Yeshua, and Hindu gods are passed down from the Sirians. It is because those gods originated from there, and that's why Indian is one of the most ancient land. Hell, even the Shaolin training, the Shaolin history has tied with the Indian gods, and Buddhism itself came from India. And that's why India has a lot of Syrian energy. Like Indian people also, they have a lot of Syrian energy, the ancient Indians especially. I even thought that many vegans possibly migrated to Sirius after the Lyra-Draco War in the Lyra constellation because of their similarity. The vegans are also blue-skinned beings like the Sirians, and they are quite tall. They are very fit individuals due to their strong interest in sports. They love to be seen by others for who they are and what they are good at, and they want to be acknowledged for their strengths and talents. So they are a sport person and love to compete with others. This could be soccer or football, basketball, badminton, or any other type of sport. The vegans are all unique, and each and every of them may have different hobbies and interests. So it's not like a few particular sports they like, but many of them, and they also have other interests too. I have personally met a vegan who is into tarot and oracle cards, and he's very gifted with them. This is why vegan starseeds tend to have a passionate hobby, or they tend to keep a passionate hobby in them and are not afraid to show it to the world, except they dislike criticism and judgment. Because of that, they may strongly hesitate to show themselves and end up hiding in the closet. Vega is a very friendly place to show yourself, but here on Earth, you get criticized, you get mocked, bullied, and judged. So it's not an easy place to navigate, unfortunately. But however, for most vegan starseeds, it is still so fulfilling to have the willpower to bring yourself out there for who you are and how you want to be seen. This is particularly for younger vegans. Older vegans may have a more spiritual purpose and mission, and are more connected with the higher realms and dimensions. They are more connected with their psychic abilities and with their higher state of consciousness. I find older vegans are also very tied with the Sirians, particularly with Sirius B. They do share a lot of similarities there. And vegan starseeds will likely find themselves also to have the origin of a Syrian starseed. The landscape of Vega is very similar to other places in Lyra, except more green and less water. So other places of Lyran's I channel have much more water, but doesn't mean that Vega doesn't have them. It's just they're more full of meadows. So much like in Lyra, in Vega the landscape is full of grassy fields and beautiful meadows, and a moonlight reflection through the lake as well. Even on the daytime, it's more like the moon was bright than it was actually a sun. So I didn't really see a sun there. It was more like the moon itself is like the sun shining through the lakes, and there's a strong reflection. I believe vegans are more of a night person. They are night owls. In fact, I saw a vision of a vegan holding an owl as a pet companion. And they even trained the owls so that the owls work with them really well. This is on the later part. I'll talk about where the Draco invaded and how they were using the owls as like a spy or monitoring the scenes around when they were ambushing the Draco that were invading. Anyways, I personally know a vegan friend and he struggles to sleep at night. It's probably because vegan starseed DNA is most active at night and how much of a night person they are. Vegans prefer a night sky. They can see well even in the dark and can find their way through a dark forest without getting lost. This is the power of their psychic abilities. Now we talked about the nights. What about the daytime since there's no sun? The land was bright enough actually, sometimes even glowing with fireflies and other glowy species. A very beautiful environment and spacious enough for them to move around and do any outdoor activities. The sky is a night sky, unlike ours which is blue in the daytime, so the sky is black over there. It's also very cloudy and it doesn't rain. There are forests around and beautiful lakes too, just as I mentioned. Some vegans are performers and entertainers. They love show and tell. They are very extroverted. Again, particularly the younger vegans. The older vegans, like the old Syrians, prefer their solitude and their deep connection with their god self. So they prefer to do their own individual work. Because vegans are very extroverted, they love socializing with others and can be a great community host to start events and be the speaker of an event. Also sounds like my friend. They can make good leaders, especially if they are spiritually awakened to their divinity and are connected with great wisdom. To do that, vegan starseeds need to start going within and realize who they are, because all the wisdom is hidden deep within themselves, within ourselves. So all the answers is inside. We just need to learn to connect and tap into them. This is what most extrovert starseed needs to do, because when they're too focused on the outside, they sometimes lose sight of the inside, lose sight of who they truly are. Now I'll talk about the effects of the galactic wars on Vega. Fortunately, Vega wasn't much affected by the war. When they heard the news about Draco terrorizing many of the Lyrans, the vegans went defensive mode to eradicate any negative Draco beings that were invading their lands. This reminds me of the movie Avatar, as it's very similar to the situation of the Navis. Even the battle is similar, as the vegans were using the dark as an advantage to ambush any Draco that came into their land with negative intention. This also speaks about the owl, the training with the owls, how they also work with the owls to detect any Dracos that were coming in. So next I asked, did the vegans do anything to help the Lyrans that were suffering from the wars? What I was shown was the vegans couldn't do anything, and they could only grieve over the pain and suffering on the other side, unfortunately. They felt the energies deeply, as they were clairsentient beings. Most of the Lyrans, including the vegans, did not have any technologies, as they lived prehistoric life. but they are all spiritually advanced. The good news is the land of VEGA still exists today and are still alive because they weren't affected much by the war and they were able to fend off against the Dracos. And honestly, it's good that the VEGA was on more on the edge side of the Lyra constellation. That's why they are more safe in compare. And I also asked, did the vegans really migrate to Sirius later on? Because like I said, I found so much similarities between those two. The answer I got was no. Old vegan souls share similar energies with Sirians because they are both spiritually advanced, powerful psychics, and are very proficient in energy works, such as energy healings and manifestations. The main difference is that Sirians are more family orientated. So in my earlier videos, I talked about Sirians having strict traditions and values, and they have this rigidity, even towards their offspring, towards the next generation. They want to keep that tradition going. Whereas vegans are more individualistic and they are more self-orientated. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I also offer a Akashic record session if you would like to connect with me, and if you have any trouble or if you want to know your origin too, feel free to book a session with me. It's also on Calendly or on my website. Once again, thank you for watching this video. Much love and peace.